What's going on YouTube? It's Pay8TV here. I'm coming to you guys with another video to explain mistakes I've made and the mistakes that you can avoid just by me explaining my experiences. So whenever I first started getting into guns and stuff, I was 18 and I got my first handgun, which is a reliable Glock, and I do recommend reliable handguns. You want to spend at least $500, $600 to get your first handgun if that's something you're going to carry and you want to make sure it runs properly and functions properly. But the mistakes that I made were with the AR pistols and just getting smudge low blow and just bad stuff in general. But personally, I just wanted to give you guys my experience. I bought a couple of firearms off of Palmetto State Armory. Not gonna bash the brand because it did run for my intended use then, but now that I understand stuff a little bit more, I definitely would not get any of these. I recommend to anybody just save your money, build you a nice rifle. Don't get the pre-built rifles that have random company names on them from around wherever you stay, unless there are decent built ones. But personally, I got a 300 blackout AR pistol at a gun show, and it was cool because it was my first AR and my first rifle. But honestly, it was stupid. I just save my money because I have freaking 3 5.56 AR pistols and one 300 blackout, and there's just no use for them. They sit around with no BCG and charging handle all day and get no use. I have tried to sell them, but nobody wants them. Why? Because they're Palmetto States. But that is my mistake that I made, and I'm trying to put that out there to you guys so you don't make that mistake. And I mean, I feel like for the certain consumer, they might make good stuff, and this is another one I got from them. It is as you guys can see, everything is clear, no mags. But right there, Palmetto State Armory, I want to say a G49. It was a cool gun to have at first, but like I said, another $500 to $600 I could have spent on a nicer build, something that's actually worth it. But it has been fun to shoot here and there, but it has this big old muzzle brake on the end, and it's only a 4-inch barrel, and it has this big old muzzle brake that takes up about 2 inches. So just 4-inch ARPs, I don't know, I'm not too fond of them, just because, like I said, you could spend your money on way better stuff. Just instead of buying a quantity of crap, buy quality and just get good stuff that runs and you know will be reliable in any situation. Personally, these guns were fun, and now they just sit in the safe. I don't think I've taken these things out in maybe a year or so. I just shoot my other guns, and I'm fine with that because, shoot, these things, you got to put accessories on it. That one needs iron sights. I done took it off and used it for other builds. But, like, getting this as your PCC is just not ideal at all. Some people might think it is because it's small or whatever, and you can put a smaller buffer tube on it. But not for my opinion. I would rather have something with, like, a collapsible stock brace, actual decent upper parts and barrels, all that good stuff, bolt carrier groups, instead of this just stock. Affordable for people, that's really where they get a lot of people, is they're affordable. I've heard very mixed reviews about the Palmetto State Dagger, but personally, I mean, I wouldn't crap on it immediately, but like I've said, I've heard mixed reviews. But let's go on to the next thing right here. So this whole build right here is just not very good. So it was a Radical Firearms right there. Another cheaper AR $500 for like a Christmas deal, and you get 16-inch AR, which I didn't have one at the time. It seemed really cool to have one, and I was gonna make it like a long-range gun. It used to have a bipod up front, but it's got this angled foregrip, not even like where I would have my hand. But yeah, I got an Amazon sight on here, or not Amazon sight, Amazon mount, and a Sig Sauer Buckmaster on here, which is like $100 scope. I have sighted it in at the range and shot some shots. It is pretty accurate, but like I said, this is about 600, maybe 650, and I could have spent this elsewhere for sure. Like with these three guns right here, you could have a really good AR pistol, SBR, real rifle. Like you could have some really nice, instead of just buying a bunch of quantity of crap. But it all depends for you, the consumer, what you like. This is just my experience. Another thing is I had to have one of these, which I don't super regret it, but I wish I did save my money and get a real AK. This thing is just, it's fun, but you always hear the people at the range complaining about how it's loud and this and that. One time I was at the range and I was by the little TV thing that shows your time, and we were shooting and it kept flipping the channels. I just feel like it's a public nuisance, and it gets a bad rep for sure, because it definitely is a good gun. People talk crap about it all the time, but it is money that could be spent elsewhere just a little bit better. Personally, everybody, like, you hate it or you love it for sure, but I loved it for a little while, and now it really doesn't come out of the safe that much. 7.62s, I don't know. I'm a 5.56 type of guy. I like 5.56 a lot. It's definitely cheaper for me and more affordable. But man, it just the bad surrounding stuff around it. But I paid about a rack for this thing, and I feel like I could definitely get that back out of this. But these other guns, like I've said, that we had to cut that part out. But like I was saying, just be aware and cautious of what you're spending your money on based on your budget. Now I have a bigger budget for sure to spend on guns, but just buy quality and do research on what you're gonna get. If you're looking for your first everyday carry handgun, I recommend deep diving into videos about how they shoot, how big they are, what's the best ammo that runs through them, what ammo they can run, all of that good stuff, what holsters, find a good everyday carry belt. Next, after you get your first everyday carry, I recommend getting a rifle or a home defense, shotgun, long rifle. Just depends on what you like. Personally, I went and got a rifle second, but now that I know what I know, I wouldn't have got that. I'm not a shotgun guy myself, but also I haven't shot good shotguns. I've only shot cheap shotguns that came from PSA. It hasn't failed me, but like I said, it was one of my first guns. I had to wait a 3-week delayed time for that one. That was a pain in the butt for sure. I kept getting delayed, and now I get it within. Sorry about that again. I appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe. Use code PAY at checkout for 10% off. See you.